What's going on, Wastelanders? Draco Invictus here, and we are continuing our tour of settlement locations in Fallout 4. If you missed the first one, go check out tour number 1. We are touring all of the settlements in Fallout 4 other than Home Plate, because that's not a settlement, that is just a player house, so we aren't going to be checking that out, and we are picking up right where we left off, starting right now. Alright, like I said, we are picking up right where we left off, and we are going to jump over to Coastal Cottage and check that out. Alright, here we are at Coastal Cottage. It is a wreck of a little, beach house, and this place is definitely in the top 5 of worst settlement build locations in the game when it comes to the standard non-modded game. Build area is very small. There is a ton of stuff here that you cannot scrap. And if you've never been to this location, this is one of the biggest issues with building here. This building is absolutely destroyed. You can't scrap it. And you have this massive hole. Now, I've built here, and I enjoy the challenge of building here, but it certainly is a challenge that some of you may not want to take. But it is an option. It is in the most upper northeast region of the map. And all you got to do is there is a couple of raiders, or maybe one raider, and a couple Mirelurks running around here. Kill them, and the workbench is open to you. The one redeeming quality of Coastal Cottage is the fact that that fish packing plant is right there. It is, obviously being guarded. There's, I think last time I was over there, it was Institute Synths were over there. But that is a great location for aluminum. And this place is kind of out of the way. If you look back over here at the map, you can see, like I said, it is in the upper northeast corner of the map. And the next two closest are the Slog and the Kingsport Lighthouse. Matter of fact, let's head over to the Kingsport Lighthouse now, and we'll check that out. All right, welcome to the Kingsport Lighthouse. The Kingsport Lighthouse is another area that just needs to be cleared of enemies before you can build here. These particular enemies are the Children of Adam. Matter of fact, there are bits and pieces of them all over here. Let's head out through the back door. Now, one of the big challenges here is fixing this whole thing. Fixing this roof so that you can actually use this as part of your settlement. I did make a video on fixing this ceiling, not necessarily fixing the roof, but fixing the ceiling so that it would be secured enough to put beds in here, and they would be considered covered beds. So I will put a link in the upper right-hand corner for that build. And, of course, you have the lighthouse, and you can build all the way up to the top of the lighthouse, so it's a pretty decent build height. You can build down here into the dock area and the water for your water purifiers and whatnot. And, yes, there will be enemies down here that you have to kill before you can open this place up. Not a huge build area, but another great area. There is not truly a bad area to build in for building's sake. For story's sake, it may not make a whole lot of sense, to build up at Coastal Cottage, simply because there aren't a whole lot of resources. There isn't a whole lot of reason to be up here, other than right up here would be the point where you would head over to Far Harbor. But for building's sake, there is not a bad. There's more challenging areas than others, and we certainly enjoy the challenge. All right, let's head over to the Slog now. All right, here we are at the Slog. The Slog already comes with a lot of settlers. It is tied to a Radiant quest, I believe, and it, of course, comes with its, a Radiant quest. It is a Tarberry bog in this old pool. This is the only place where you can actually find regular tarberries And matter of fact, you can't even plant more tarberries. So be careful if you're going to take those out. This is the only place that you can get domesticated tarberries. Now, one of the big challenges for this settlement is that I think it comes out to about what, right here? So you can build out a little bit out in this dirt, but you're primarily focused on just this concrete pad area. There is a garden section over here that is already up and running, and there's a little bit more build area over here. Now, another interesting thing about the slog, because there are already so many settlers here, all of the beds in the base game, I gotta remember to stop saying that. Just assume that I'm talking no mods from here on out, okay? You can move these beds, but you cannot scrap these beds because, as you can see, they are flagged as NPC owned, which means that you cannot scrap them. There are ways around that, but honestly, just move the beds if you want to move the beds. Of course, you can build up on top of this building. Now, another big problem that you may run into with the slog is that its close proximity to the Saugus Ironworks and the junkyard, which is right over there, that is being infested with the gunners. Your defenses could trigger an all-out war with both of these factions, or one of them, simply because of the close proximity. They wander out. There are traveling bands of raiders and stuff like that. So you could cause an all-out war with your defenses triggering. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, let's jump over to our next location. And we are going to continue working, well, let's grab the Green Top. We already got Taffington in the last video, so let's grab Green Top Nursery. All right, here we are at the Green Top Nursery, and this is a decent build size. It's about, the line is right here by this house, and then it cuts like right here. So this house is in the corner of the build area. But you do have a working nursery. There's lots of food items already here. There's a couple settlers already here. They have a Radiant quest to get this unlocked. You have a decent build height. I want to say 3 or 4 stories down here at the bottom. So with the house and the greenhouse, there isn't a whole lot of build area here, but you can build up and around and over and all that stuff. So the varied terrain, it gives it its own challenge. But you can obviously use the house, fix the roofs, and I have made many videos about fixing roofs because this house is just like any one of the houses in Sanctuary, so you could absolutely get that done. Matter of fact, I will put a link. If you've never seen my roof fix for Sanctuary, I will put a link in the upper right-hand corner of the video right now, so you can check that out. And let's see, let's jump over to our next location, which is going to be Finch Farm. All right, welcome to Finch Farm. This is the other location that you can build on the overpass. The first one was Grey Garden. We covered that in the previous video. There is a large farm here already, and the Finch family lives here. There are 3 of them currently here. And this is tied to a quest at the Saugus Ironworks. So you need to talk to, I believe his name is Abraham. He's up on the roof right now. I don't know why. But you need to talk to Father Finch, and he will give you that quest to go over to the Saugus Ironworks. This is a pretty decent build size. Obviously, you have great height here, and you can actually build all the way down to the water to get some water purifiers down in there. With the close proximity to the Saugus Ironworks and the satellite relay over there, you could run into super mutants. You could run into the Saugus flamers. So there are certainly some defense challenges that could be triggered here. And God, they keep talking. So this is the Finch Farm. I love building at the overpasses. Now there is a mod that puts a lift for you to get up there. Yeah, you can hear gunfire because the junkyard that I mentioned in the slog is actually right over there. But that's not even where the shooting's coming from. So, yeah, that's coming from over there. We're going to ignore that for now. All right, let's jump to our next location. And I believe it will be the Croup Manor. All right, welcome to Croup Manor. This place is guarded by a crap ton of ghouls. Not as many as one of the other settlements that we're going to talk about. But there are many ghouls here that you have to kill before you can turn this or open the workbench up to make this a settlement. And much like the Kingsport Lighthouse, you do have a close proximity to the water here. You are going to have some issues with fixing up this building so that it is habitable. But it is, what, 3 stories tall? Yeah. And this is certainly fixable. You could absolutely fix all this. At least repair the ceiling here and make this all livable space. So this is Croup Manor. I enjoy this. Again, varied terrain. With the base game, there's a lot of stuff that you can't scrap. But certainly very buildable in this area. So now let's head over to, let's see, we got everything up there. County Crossing will be our next location. All right, welcome to County Crossing. This is a smaller build area that is tied, this guy's going to want to come over and talk to me, that's why he's following me over here. It is tied to the National Guard Training Center there. You have to go over, kill a bunch of ghouls, and then you can use this as a settlement location. It also has a pretty decent farm size already here. And your build area comes pretty much all the way over to right about here, I suppose. So you can see it's pretty decent build size. You can't scrap this old broken ass building, but there are many ways to fix this to make it usable. Another issue that you might run into is the close proximity to so many other things. You'll have a lot of traveling raiders. The super mutants are right over there at the satellite array. So you will have roving bands that come by here. So if you use this as a settlement location, expect to get notifications that it is under attack often. So that is County Crossing. And now, let's see, we covered everything up there. We're just going to keep on moving right on down the Eastern Seaboard, and we're going to visit Bunker Hill. All right, welcome to Bunker Hill. It is right on the outskirts of downtown Boston. And you have to... this is actually tied to a quest line. You have to complete the Battle of Bunker Hill quest before you can use this as a settlement. So you will have to do the main storyline to get this taken care of. Go away, Meg. Now, the interesting thing about Bunker Hill is that it is an existing, functioning settlement already. So there isn't actually a whole lot of build area here because of everything that you already have. The great thing is that you already have all of this here. This is another location that you could open up as a build area and very quickly have it running as a settlement. And you have a pretty, I wish the build height was higher here, but you have a decent build height, I would say probably 5 to 6 stories, maybe. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, this is Bunker Hill, and now we are starting to get towards downtown Boston. But let's go ahead and jump over here, and we'll hit Nordhagen Beach first. All right, welcome to beautiful Nordhagen Beach. Nordhagen Beach is actually a pretty small construction area as far as landmass goes. It is not a big settlement by any stretch of the imagination. It does offer some challenges in the fact that it is so close to this road that has super mutants and other baddies travel up and down it. So it will often be attacked simply because someone wandered too close to your defenses and triggered the attack. But like I said, every location is a great location as a build area. And this is, it's close to Boston Airport. You could certainly tie it in with a couple of these other ones as far as doing routes for supply lines. But yeah, Nordhagen Beach, I don't know why it's not bigger. Maybe because the Boston Airport is so close. As far as game mechanics and rendering and stuff like that, I don't know. That would be the only reason why this is not a bigger build area. A builder big area. Anyway, let's head over to the Boston Airport. All right, here we are at the Boston Airport, and this is a very interesting settlement. And unfortunately, this also comes in at the top of my crappy settlement location areas. And here's the reason why. You see all this space, you see all that up there, you've got all this beach, and you've got all this water. It's all flat, it's all great, and you can't use most of it. Excuse me. So, here's the big problem. This settlement is here for one main reason. And that reason is because once the Brotherhood of Steel shows up, they're going to put their base of operations right over here by this airport terminal. And the whole reason that this settlement location is here is so that you are close to the Brotherhood of Steel. So if you're siding with the Brotherhood of Steel, you can use this as part of the main storyline quest for getting to the Institute. That's the only reason that this location is here as a build area. Now, with mods, it way opens this up and turns this into an absolutely awesome build area for a settlement. Now, to get this open, you can't just wander over here and get this open. You actually have to complete the quest called Shadow of Steel. And then once you do that, you'll be able to build here. There's also a bunch of ghouls and stuff. But yeah. So, with no mods, this isn't... There are many workbenches. There are many things that you can't actually build here. It limits you... The base game limits you as to what you can actually build here because this was here for a specific reason. Once you start getting into mods, then you can actually use this location as a full settlement and say, screw the Brotherhood, if that is what you want to do. All right, so we are going to continue moving down the Eastern Seaboard from the Boston Airport. We already covered Bunker Hill, so now we're going to visit the castle. All right, welcome to the castle. And we actually spawn right here inside. Now, the castle can be tied to a quest line with the Minutemen, or you could just wander over here and kill all the Mirelurks yourself. This is the old Minuteman headquarters. If you are playing or siding with the Minutemen, then you're definitely going to be doing the quest line, because the quest line is the only way to get this door open. So that you can gain artillery, which is something that you can use with the Minutemen. Now, this offers its own challenges. You can't scrap all of this rubble, and you can't... It takes a lot of work to repair the walls here at the castle. But I love building at the castle. I just came over here and killed everything. I destroyed all the Mirelurk eggs and all that stuff. That's why all the bodies are still around. Once the Minutemen move back in here during that whole quest line, then all that stuff, all these piles of Mirelurk eggs and all that stuff automatically cleans itself up as you unlock this space for the Minutemen, and then they move back in. They clean up a lot of this mess for you to make it so that you can build here, because a lot of it is not scrappable. Let me jump into the build. Yeah, so you can't scrap any of these piles. You have to wait for the Minutemen to clear it out for you. But like I said, this is a well-fortified area once you get these walls fixed, and it is a great location. And there is actually a pretty epic battle here if you side with the Minutemen, between the Minutemen and the Brotherhood, that takes place here at the castle, and it's pretty cool. So if this is your first playthrough and you side with the Minutemen and you piss off the Brotherhood of Steel, then enjoy that battle. All right, let's continue moving, and we're going to head over to one of the largest build areas in the entire game, Spectacle Island. All right, here we are at Spectacle Island, and like I said, it is one of the largest build areas. It is the largest build area. This island is huge. It is flat out massive, and you can build on pretty much every square inch of it. I've seen some people try covering this entire island in concrete. Talk about a lot of concrete. But, and you can clear this out. There's some Mirelurks that you got to kill, Mirelurk Queen. And you can also, let me tell you one little tip about Spectacle Island. It comes with its own generator already that supplies, I believe, 20 power. But you have to be careful, because you can quite easily disrupt that, and then you have to build your own power supply. And with limited supplies and stuff like that, let's see, it is way over here. On that boat is the generator that's going to give you your initial power. As you can see, there's power lines already running up here. If by chance you somehow scrap some of that or screw it up, because you can screw it up, you will lose that generator. So just be careful. Tie into the existing power lines that are already here, and you already have free power. So that is my tip for Spectacle Island, and it is very varied terrain here, but offers a wide range of building. I mean, you don't even have to build on most of this island, and you could have a huge settlement here. So let's continue on down the seaboard here, and we're going to visit the Warwick Homestead, which is the lowest settlement in the north, or in the Eastern Seaboard, the eastern side of the map. All right, welcome to Warwick Homestead. There are two ways to open this up as a settlement. You can complete the quest Building a Better Crop, which is a quest that you get from the Institute, or you can get it as a Radiant quest in the area. And you can open it up either way. This is a pretty decent sized build area. I wish it went out into the water a bit more, but you already have a large farm here already, and there are a few settlers here. And just like at the Slog, these beds are all tagged as NPC owned, so you can't scrap them, you can only move them. So there is that. But again, for the game mechanics, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, simply because there's not much down in this area of the map. But for just straight up building purposes, Warwick Homestead is a great place to build. All right, so now that we've covered that, we will come over here and we're going to cover the Murkwater construction site. All right, welcome to the Murkwater construction site. All you got to do is kill a few Mirelurks and get this place open. Oh, and a Mirelurk Queen. And this settlement is glitched in the base game. And what I mean by that is that sometimes it doesn't happen with every playthrough, but sometimes the Mirelurk Queen will respawn in the middle of the settlement. It happened to me. I was building here. I ran to get some more resources. I came back, and she was literally stuck through one of my buildings. She couldn't move. She could spin around, but that was about it. So a lot of people don't like building here because it's not a huge build area. You have all of this mire, murky water. I love building here. I came here specifically to build an elevated settlement. Matter of fact, I will put a link to that build in the upper right-hand corner. You can check that out there. And, ooh, it sounds like some gunfire over there. Now, you won't be able to scrap this building. You won't be able to scrap this little facade here. You will have to build around it if you're not using mods. But you can scrap most all the trees around here. I really enjoyed building here. Then again, I like challenging builds. So this was certainly a challenging build. But it offers a pretty decent size build area. You just have really crazy terrain and a lot of water to build over. So that is the Murkwater construction site. And let's see. Matter of fact, we will use... Yep, Jamaica Plain will be our last one. Now, what you're seeing here, Vault 88 is located right here. Okay, I haven't unlocked the outer location for that because I traveled straight to Vault 88. And I will actually cover Vault 88, the Mechanist Lair, and all other DLC settlements in probably the next video. I think this is going to be a 3-part series. It may be 4-part. It should just be 3. But yeah, so I will talk about Vault 88. But right now we're going to jump over to Jamaica Plain. Welcome to the city of Jamaica Plain. And you're thinking, heck yeah, I got a whole city. I will tell you right now that Jamaica Plain is my #1 worst settlement location in the base game. You have to kill off, it feels like hundreds. I know it's not hundreds, but there is a crap ton of ghouls here in Jamaica Plain, and you have to kill every single one of them before you can unlock this settlement. And then you run into this problem. That's the end of the settlement. It is one of the smallest build areas in the base game. And you have this huge building here that you cannot go in. You cannot use it as a structure. You cannot scrap it. Matter of fact, there are only 2 real buildings, that building and this one, that are in your build area. You can see how small this is. This one needs a lot of work before you could actually even turn it into a functioning settlement. But it can be done. So if you want a challenge, you want a small build area, then Jamaica Plain is the place to go. And you can't scrap all of this rubble and stuff like that. So I was highly disappointed when I got here, got this cleared out, went through all the trouble of killing all those ghouls, only to find that I have a really, really small build area. So, of course, you can expand it with mods and all that stuff, but in the base game, this was a huge disappointment for me. And I think the reason why is because you have so many other buildings in close proximity that for rendering purposes and to keep the frame rate decent, they couldn't make it any bigger. Because there's a lot of stuff that it has to render that is very close. It's not in the background like that overpass. So that is probably why they made this build area so small. I can't think of another reason why they would make it that small. All right, that is going to wrap up this tour, part 2 of our settlement tours of the Commonwealth. Make sure to check out, if you haven't checked out part 1, where I covered the whole northwest corner of the map, then make sure to check that out. And stay tuned for part 3. Make sure that you subscribe and click the bell notification icon so that you get notifications for my next video and all the videos that I'm going to post. I post a lot of build videos for Fallout 4. I post other games as well. They're not nearly as popular, but if you like to see other games as well, I do Let's Plays through other various games. So make sure to stick around for that as well. I'm currently live streaming a Institute playthrough of an assassin sniper build. Her name is Stella, and she is a total badass. And matter of fact, that live stream just started last weekend. If you don't want to stick around for a few hours to watch a live stream or the live stream replay, then I am doing highlight or recap episodes of all the action of the live stream without all of the boring running in between place to place. So I will post those as well. So there is definitely a lot to check out. So stay tuned for lots more great Fallout information. And until next time, Wastelanders, take care of yourselves out there. This is Draco Invictus saying that this is the greatest day in my life. See ya!